Hey guys, Definix here, and this one's a response to Fatgamer. And Fatgamer, I do apologize for not making a response to you in a timely manner, but at any rate, I'm here, I'm making it, so here we go. Basically, the first thing you talked about was how Microsoft was monopolizing the industry. I'm sorry, before I begin, anyone who wants to actually see this, to see the first video first, I advise you to go to Fatgamer76's page and look under how is I think it's Microsoft monopolizing the industry .avi, or it should be as a video response to here once he actually accepts it. Anyway, so you said Microsoft monopolizes it. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I even begin with that, let me tell you that I do appreciate you coming at me correct. This is actually the first time that you've actually came at me with coming to me correct, and it's much appreciative. Now we're finally with all the beginning parts out the way. Let's tackle this real fast. Now, you stated how Microsoft monopolizing the industry, but that's absolutely incorrect, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the Wii has sold more than both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 combined. So I mean, well, essentially it does. I'm not 100% sure. I have not really done the math, but I mean that itself says that not only is Microsoft monopolizing the industry, but in my reality, they kind of can't. I don't think anyone's really going to pass the Wii. That's one. Now, on a second level, you got to look at it like this. The one thing about the gaming industry that I love is that the person who monopolized it in the first in one generation might not do it another time. Let me give it to you like this. First, Atari started off monopolizing the industry. They had everything down packed, right? Then after that, after the hiatus, of course, came Nintendo's turn. Nintendo monopolized it from Nintendo to the SNES time frames. Then after that came the N64, but when the N64 came out, the PlayStation 1 had already came out, so it was Sony's turn who was already monopolizing it between the time frames of PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. So this time it looks like it's going back to Nintendo. So as you hear that, there is no Microsoft in the mix of that. Now, sure, Microsoft might make it eventually, maybe with the Xbox 720 or the Xbox 7, depending on what they're going to name it. Most likely, I guess they're going to name it 7. I don't know. It seems to be their favorite number as of recently. But anyway, it's not monopolizing. They're nowhere near able to monopolize so far. Now, you also talked about how Mickey is suing Dentel for the controller. Now, that's not really a bad thing, because Mickey is doing what they're supposed to do, and that's protecting their interest. It's called copyright law, and copyright law basically prevents other companies from making something too much like yours and pretty much exacting the rewards. Let me go ahead and put you in the mix here. Say you sound like a brother who likes a little bit of a sip. So say you got a drink, right? You made this concoction of a drink, right? And you sold it to someone, and they was like, this drink is good. It tastes fantastic, whatnot. So right then and there, that's your job. You need to copyright some of that stuff. That's what your job is right now, to copyright. Now, say your friend, right? Say a friend of yours actually went behind you, took your recipe, right, and made his drink in his own house, and then tried to go ahead and sell the drink. Now, you already have yours out there sold, so he tried to sell his drink, which tastes pretty much close, if not exactly like yours. In fact, maybe exactly like yours, right? Is it fair that even though he made it in his own basement with your recipe for the most part, should he get the money for it? The answer is no, because you made the drink. You originally created that drink, so it's your, it's your money right there. Now, I'm not sure 100% sure if that analogy is 100% correct, but it's as close as I can come up with, on the fly, that is. Now, you also said that Mickey will charge. You're a firm believer that Mickey will charge $50 a month for Xbox Live. How and why? And where's your proof? To be honest with you, I mean, I don't see any reason why they need to or will ever charge $50 a month for Xbox Live. In fact, I don't see any kind of thing that's gearing towards that. I think I might have an understanding of what you mean, but honestly, as of right now, there's no worries about that. And if they do provide a service which provides you with all that combined, then I mean, by all that I mean, because I'm thinking what you're thinking is that they're going to provide you with enough stuff such as like television and this and that and all of this, television, what else? Gaming platform and everything basically under one package. And to be honest with you, buddy, I would enjoy that very much. I really would. I mean, I would like all my stuff. I'm a kind of guy who loves all his stuff under one package. So yeah, if it did come to that, honestly, I would pay $50 a month for it. Honestly, if that was a mix between my cable bill, my television bill, that is, my not my internet, but my online bill, my online gaming bill, and hell, maybe even heck, if Microsoft is willing to add that with my internet, add the internet provider to that too, yes, 50, by all means, boo boo, do it. But I'm just saying, anyway, that's far fetched. All that's going to happen. Well, basically, what I'm saying is, as of right now, you have no worries about that. You might have they might actually consider putting all that into one plate. And like I said before, if you can get your internet access, your Xbox Live subscription, and TV all in one package for just $50 a month, then yes, I will without a doubt pay for it. Because hell, my internet itself costs about $50 a month. And for the record, yeah, my DirecTV bill is about $50 a month. But at any rate, yes, Sony has copied Microsoft also, because you mentioned how Sony copied Microsoft. Yes, Sony has copied Microsoft with achievements as well as the other few things that's in the Sony repertoire right now, which kind of goes to show you right there that there is, how to put this, that Sony sees Microsoft as pretty much a leader as well as Nintendo, of course. But even Sony sees them both as leaders. In fact, it seems to me that the only people who do not see Microsoft as a leader and Nintendo as a leader is Sony fanboys. But honestly, the company Sony apparently does. You can tell because they're constantly copying off of either they're either copying off of one guy or the other. They're copying either off the Nintendo, such as with the PlayStation Move, or they're copying off of Microsoft, with such as PSN. Now, and speaking of which, let me take this opportunity to thank you, because it's been a while. It's like you actually named games that were actually developed by a Sony company. We're talking first-party games, and finally someone actually knows. A lot of people like to say games like Kingdom Hearts and whatnot, which are not by Sony, but you actually named Siphon Filter, which is one of my favorite games, amongst other games that were actually made by Sony. And yes, I do believe that Sony needs to pick up in their particular, they need to pick up their games. I don't know what happened to those games. I didn't really research them, but yeah, I do believe that Sony really needs to pick those up. Now, last but not least, you also talked about Microsoft's control over the Xbox 360 itself, and that's a good thing, my friend, because the company is basically protecting themselves as well as you against the pirating results. And by pirating results, let me see if I can explain that to you. First of all, PC is a free platform. It's a free gaming platform. It's a free platform in general. Am I right? Okay, well, here's a big problem with it as a gaming platform. They suffer from pirating. Now, because PC pirating is so big, a lot of developers don't want to develop for the PC. Now, it has changed as of recently. A lot of developers are looking towards the PC now, thanks to companies like Steam, who has basically brought revenue for PC gaming up about 200%, and damn sure is growing. So yes, it's a good move by them, but still, that was the problem. PC gaming was in a small decline because of pirating, which, like I said, it's still a problem, but at least now it's kind of smoothing. It's slowly going down. We're all working on it to get it resolved. But at any rate, another example is, that's an example of how pirating can screw up a platform. Now, another example, of course, is PlayStation Network. PlayStation Network itself allows you to buy a PSN game and then send it to 5 friends who then will get the game for free. So if the game actually costs $10, that means that the developers are at a $40 in gross revenue loss. Gross revenue, of course, not true net revenue, but just gross revenue loss. So therefore, and that's per one game. Now imagine if we're talking about 9 or 10 games. Imagine 100 games. You get my example. And these games sell about about $500,000. So yeah, that's a lot of money being lost. But and that's the problem with PSN not having control over the games. But after all, like I said before, that control is a very good thing. That control is something that you want. That means that everything is going to be streamlined to the point where you don't have to worry about anything happening. And as for the other guy who got his system bricked, and I do believe he did get a system bricked, mind you, buddy, he had himself a JTAG Xbox, which basically means that he had basically a broken into Xbox to the point where it was illegal to have it. So yeah, if it's illegal to have something, then I think you should get it snapped. But anyway, that's just me. Anyway, that's my video.